thanking all of you for coming. We're looking forward to a very interactive discussion this morning, and by thanking our sponsors. We wouldn't be here today without them. So I'd like to recognize Chevron, the Daphne and David Tang, John and Sarah Rinlob, and the Henry M. Jackson Foundation for their support. Last year, the Obama administration announced a strategic rebalance towards Asia in recognition of Asia's growing importance to the U.S. economy and security outlook and increasing weight in the global landscape. Since the administration's announcement, there have been considerable discussions in Washington and in capitals around Asia on what this policy means exactly for the United States and for Asia. We've also had several important policy developments, including the exciting announcement last week that the White House is supporting Japan's participation in the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, which will greatly increase both the trade and the strategic benefits of the TPP. Today, we're going to discuss the role that Congress is going to play in shaping the outcome and eventual success or failure of this rebalance. With our elections behind us, several key leadership transitions in Asia in place, in China, Japan, and South Korea, and near daily headlines about rising security tensions in the South China Sea, East China Sea, and on the Korean Peninsula, the 113th Congress has started with a very ambitious agenda of hearings focused on U.S. strategy in Asia and important visits to the region by leaders in both the House and the Senate. This reflects a fairly strong consensus and growing awareness in Congress about the critical impact of developments in Asia for the United States. But in addressing the rebalance, members of Congress will be juggling many priorities, including the U.S. financial recovery and budget deficit. Additionally, members hold a range of views on key elements of the pivot, whether this be our trade policy, security policy, or human rights issues. The future direction of the rebalancing towards Asia will hinge greatly on the level of congressional support and leadership for the different elements of the strategy. The responsibilities of the legislative branch for allocating funds, for providing oversight, ratifying trade agreements, and working with their counterparts in Asia will all be critical factors in the shape and success of the rebalance. We have a lot of ground to cover this morning, so I invite you all to get comfortable. First up, we have Pamela Passman. Pamela is going to introduce Congressman Larson and moderate the discussion with him. She is the founder and president of CREATE, which is the Center for Responsible Enterprise and Trade. CREATE is a nonprofit organization that was established in 2011 to enhance protection of intellectual property rights and fight corruption. Pamela has recently written an article, which I commend to all of you in Foreign Affairs last month, where she talks extensively about the role that the private sector can play in enhancing both of these two critical policy goals for U.S. support of innovation policy, enhancing intellectual property rights and fighting corruption along the supply chain. Before founding CREATE, Pamela was the corporate vice president and Deputy General Counsel for Corporate and Regulatory Affairs at Microsoft. As you can see from her bio in your packet, she has extensive legal, industry, and policy experience. She is one of NBR's most senior and influential board members, and we're very lucky to have her here with us this morning. So please join me in welcoming Pamela and Congressman Larson up to the front of the room.